All right, let's dive right in. The Cardano ecosystem is on fire right now. It is absolutely buzzing with energy. But if you look just under the surface, there's this massive tug of war going on over its identity, its very soul. Is Cardano going to be a platform for serious real-world utility, or is it becoming a playground for speculative hype? That's the core question we're going to break down. So here's how we're going to tackle it. First, we'll get a sense of the vibrant, kind of chaotic energy happening across the network. Then we're going to narrow our focus down to one single super high-stakes proposal that has the whole community talking. From there, we'll zoom back out to see what crypto history can teach us and what two very different futures could be in store for Cardano. Let's get into it. Okay, so first things first, let's just take a snapshot of the ecosystem right now. You've got this wild mix of super serious infrastructure being built right alongside these high-energy, community-driven projects. It's a lot. So on one side, you've got the hardcore DeFi builders, like the team at Strike Finance. These guys are heads down, coding, shipping updates, squashing bugs. They're teasing their V2. Their next-gen order book is coming sooner than we think. You know, this is the foundational stuff, the plumbing that's aiming for lightning-fast, super cheap transactions. And then you flip the coin completely and you've got this incredible creative energy from the community. A great example is the Necro League, an NFT project. They just finished a mint and, with some partners, pulled together a prize pool of 3,000 ADA. I mean, this is that grassroots vibe that really builds a loyal, fired-up community. And of course, you can't talk about Cardano without talking about the meme coin culture. It's electric. You have projects like Dollar Kraju just exploding with excitement, especially when the man himself, Charles Hoskinson, or as they call him, Crad Dad, casually drops into their Discord server. So you see, it's this mix of serious tech, community fun, and just pure, unadulterated hype that really defines this moment for Cardano. All right, now let's go from that big, messy picture and zoom way in, because there's one specific event that is like a lightning rod for all this tension, and it all comes down to a single proposal sitting in the Cardano treasury. And it is a big one, 5 million ADA. That is the amount of money that Snack, which is probably Cardano's best-known meme coin, is asking for from the on-chain treasury. A number that big, yeah, that was guaranteed to get everybody talking. And all that talk really boils down to this single question. Is handing over 5 million ADA to a meme coin a brilliant strategic investment that's going to grow the whole ecosystem, or is it just a really, really costly gamble on short-term hype? That is the 5 million ADA question. But here is the killer detail, the part you have to understand. This is not a grant. It's not a handout. The SNEC team pitched this as a repayable loan, which is something that has never been done before with the Cardano treasury. They want to use the money to get SNEC listed on more big-name exchanges, arguing that it'll bring more eyes, more users, and more money to Cardano as a whole. So let's actually dig into the yes camp's arguments here, because to their credit, the SNEC team has been super proactive, trying to answer all the community's concerns. They're trying to frame this as a whole new way of thinking about what the treasury is for. So basically, people had two huge questions. One, how are you going to pay this back? And two, where's the collateral? SNCC's answer is that they have real revenue coming in from their products and other deals. But the collateral question is where it gets really interesting. They're basically saying, hey, the treasury isn't a bank. Its job is to grow the ecosystem, not to act like a private lender that ties up funds. So you see, this is a debate about the entire philosophy of what the treasury should be. And they aren't just making empty promises. They are coming with receipts. They point out that one of their products made nearly 2 million ADA in fees just last year. Plus, they've already spent almost 5 million of their own dollars on exchange listings. And then a major player, a whale named It's Dave ADA, came in and threw down a massive 32.64 million ADA yes vote. That's a huge vote of confidence. Okay. So that's the case for the proposal, but there is a very big but on the other side. And to really get why some people are so nervous, we need to zoom out again and look at the history of hype in crypto. Because, well, we've kind of seen this movie before. It's a pattern that folks like Cardano, Yoda have pointed out. Think about it. In 2017, we had the ICO mania. In 2021, it was the NFT wave. And now, in 2024, it is the meme coin cycle. Every few years, a new craze takes over, promising to make everyone rich overnight. And here's the lesson history teaches us, time and time again. After the party, there is always a hangover. Once all that speculative money disappears, the activity on the blockchain just dries up, and you're left with a ghost town. I mean, if you want a perfect recent example, just look at Solana. Their trading volume, fueled by meme coins, hit an insane $36 billion in a month. But just a bit later, it had crashed by 90%, gone. A rocket ship on the way up and a stone on the way down. And the real damage here isn't just the money lost, it's the reputation. The argument against this kind of thing is that while the meme coin craze gave Solana a massive short-term boost, it left a long-term scar. Now a lot of people just see it as a casino, not a serious place to build the future of finance. And that's a hard label to shake off. So all of this leads us right back to Cardano, which is basically standing at a fork in the road. It has a fundamental choice to make. Does it chase the hype, or does it double down on its original core mission of utility? And these two paths could not be more different. Path one is the meme coin cycle. You get that sugar rush of attention, you attract speculators, but you run the very real risk of repeating what we just saw on Solana. Path two is about building something that lasts. It's that original crypto dream, right? To bank the unbanked, to build a new financial operating system from the ground up. So what does that core mission stuff actually look like? Well, we're talking about the fundamental building blocks, things like stablecoins, so value is reliable, privacy tools, decentralized identity, or DID, so you own your own data, and bringing real-world assets, RWAs, onto the blockchain. This is the brick-and-mortar work of building something with real lasting value. And what's really fascinating is that while the community is having this huge existential debate, the core development team is just putting the pedal to the metal. Charles Hoskinson announced they're moving to a 24/7 global follow-the-sun model to speed up work on Leos, the next massive protocol upgrade. So no matter what path the community chooses for the applications, the foundation itself is getting stronger and faster. Which brings us right back to where we started. That snake proposal, you see, it's about so much more than a loan. It's become a referendum on the very future of Cardano. Is it going to chase that fleeting, exciting energy of hype, or will it commit to the slower, maybe less glamorous, but steady path of building core utility? The answer is going to define the next chapter for this entire ecosystem.